Good evening, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. In the news today, Russia announced that they have destroyed 24 of the 16 HIMARS units that were sent to Ukraine by the United States military. Next week, they plan on destroying the same 24 launchers again. And now for the show.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't touching no buttons.
Good evening, everybody.
I promise you, Paul was not in charge of the missile launchers.
John, are you implying that
This
the
is
Russians...
Paul McCartney, and I'm going to fill in for Bill tonight.
What'd you say, Lewis?
I was asking John if he was implying that the Russians might lie about their military successes.
Just a little bit. And Lewis has some experience with this. There are some pro-Russian military hardware sites that are touting the effectiveness of the military effort in Ukraine and the equipment they're using. And you see, I believe the proper term would be full of fecal matter. That just slightly, because they're talking about what was the Kirov battle cruiser that can supposedly the radar can detect stealth aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 30-year-old radar system can detect stealth aircraft. That's.
I noticed out of all the antennas they had on that thing, not one phased away.
Well, what was it? Was it Bosnia that shot down one of the stealth fighters because they started noticing a drop in the cell signals? They started noticing in how the cell signals would drop out in certain areas, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and then the cell signals would drop out going back out of the country. They said, shoot that thing. Shoot that.
Well, that and they had a pretty good intelligence network, and they knew when the plane was taking off. They knew how fast it could fly, and they basically saturated the area. They didn't tell everybody they fired, like 150 missiles at it, and one of them hit.
They shotgunned it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well,
and they good old boy dumbed it down. They used just the missiles they used weren't actually radar homing; they were heat seekers. And even though stealth fighter, the F-117 had the ability to hide and, well, not hide, but mask its heat signature, you can't hide all of it. So
Hey,
it's
Rob.
kind of funny. Lewis was talking about. He was on that one post about the Kirov battle cruiser, and they were talking about, look at all those radar antennas. Geez, you'd fry the entire crew if you lit all them things off at the same time. You'd microwave them.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Oh no, it's long wave radar. It won't do that."
Yeah. Number one, long wave radar would not work because the longer the wavelength, the less flexible the beam is. I mean, long wave radar would detect a mountain, but not a plane. I mean, the shorter the wavelength, the more flexible the and
it's kind of like a TV screen. The more pixels you have, the better the picture.
Yes. It's a higher resolution echo that you get back.
Which is why they call it microwave.
And Steve Ellis just asked a question. Whose side were the Bosnians on during World War II?
Their side.
Well,
just like everybody else.
Bosnia did not
on their own side
during World War II. It was
that's radio. Yeah, Carl, isn't log wave for submarine comms?
That would be AM.
No, well,
very long. Use ULF, ultra low frequency.
Ultra low frequency.
And Sarah's in here. Hello, Sarah. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Rich is here too, and Donna and Uncle Carl. So we got a full house tonight. 10 people. Wow.
For those of you who haven't noticed, the Russians seem to claim that they've destroyed a HIMARS launcher every day. Yeah, and it's like, we only sent them 16. How many of these things do you think you've destroyed?
That's saying about like how big that fish that you caught the other night.
Yeah, if you hadn't clicked that one by Rich, I was just about to. Yeah. Carl.
Well, I went fishing one time and pulled in a big one. And this guy told me, he said, "Yeah, I was fishing the other night, and hooked a lantern and brought it in, and the thing was still burning." I said, "You fool of it." And he goes, I'll make a deal with you." He says, "You shorten that fish up, and I'll blow out the lantern."
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And Carl, of
caught a
course, I'm
dog
still
once when we
speaking
went-
to you. I'm awake now.
My dad was a big
Prove
bass-
it.
My dad was a big bass fisherman, had a bass boat and Bass Masters Association, all sorts of stuff like that. He took us out fishing one time, and we caught a dog.
Oh,
We were just sitting there in the boat fishing. All of a sudden, this dog come running up on shore, jumped in the water, come swimming out to the boat.
Hey, I saw a fishing program one time where a deer did the same thing. It was a little bitty deer, but did the same thing. Swam out to the boat, and the fishermen drug it in. They pulled over to the bank, put it back out. It was on the opposite side. Evidently, there was something chasing that little fawn on the side that it jumped off of. So,
Hey,
caught-
deer can swim. Deer can swim a long way.
I caught geese one time. Just kind of casted it out, and all these geese decided to take off flying across in front of us at the last second. And next thing I know, my reel is going ring, and I could just about didn't get my knife out to cut the line quick enough before it jerked the pole out of my hand.
That's a new name I don't recognize. Roxanne, welcome.
oh, she's been here several times.
Yeah, she's been here before.
All right. Well, maybe on Dan's show, but I don't think she's been here unless some of the half dozen shows I haven't been here for.
Now
I
that
can't
we
remember
can't
which
say.
one.
That we can't say. And as far as disastrous fishing stories, was told one by one old farmer. He was out with his boys fishing on one lake, and one of the boys drew back real far and cast his line way on out and hooked the ear of somebody in a boat behind them.
Holy Carol Burnett, Batman.
You really? I'm going. Did that was a free ear piercing? Did they get a stud, or was it a little ring that they put in to take advantage of that instant hole there?
Well, you know, some of them get those great big holes put in their earlobes. I bet he got his done without asking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just so y'all know, Republican or Jackie Walorski from Indiana was killed. She's a Republican from
Very sad.
Indiana. Was killed in a car accident, and I was proud to see that several of the businesses in the area had their flags at half staff because of it.
Yeah, two interns as well was killed in the same vehicle.
Well, what office did she hold?
She was representative in Congress.
Oh, Congress?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's a bigwig in agriculture there in Indiana too. And I heard something about it Friday on Hoosier Ag, and I cannot remember what she was the head of there. of it, but
Well-
she was very instrumental in agriculture during her term.
And Rich says, crap, I voted for her before, and the only thing going through my mind is, I wonder what she had on Trump.
Quick,
Yeah,
let's go to
yeah,
Washington.
yeah.
I know what Hillary did.
And 10 years ago,
Yeah.
the punchline would have been Hillary. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even think that many
Hey.
years ago.
Hey, at least Hillary doesn't bury the bodies on her multi-million-dollar golf course to get the tax breaks from it being a cemetery.
Sand trap's a sand trap.
We're going to get so banned.
Oh, yeah.
This is a
And
political
how close are you to getting back on Facebook? Yes.
Well, hey, this ain't going on
Not
Facebook.
anymore.
Yeah.
He was this close. Now he's this close. Okay.
Keeps
Missed
moving
it by that much.
He keeps moving the goalposts. I swear.
Yeah, I gotta quit. I got to quit getting in trouble because it's promotion time now.
Yeah, really. And how's that going? I've been watching the what is HallowCon videos,
Yeah.
and they are quite lovely. I do enjoy them.
Today.
And
today
go ahead,
is-
John.
today is the anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima with the atomic bomb. So
It is. Oh,
It
wow.
is. And I had to, because Joe had his Facebook issues, I've been basically being a good boy and not posting any of my jokes about Hiroshima on Facebook. So that's.
Now, is the proper pronunciation Hiroshima or Hiroshima? I've heard both so many times, I'm not quite certain.
I'm
Oh.
pretty sure that we Americans get it wrong either way.
They're both probably wrong. Yes.
We
Yeah.
call it Hiroshima.
Oh,
And,
I'm gonna also throw this out here real quick. Up at the 127 sale today, I met two authors that did a collaboration book called Underveil the Awakening. Underveil the Awakening. It's on Amazon. It is Alina Castle and Kevin Garnett. And their Facebook is Underveil the Awakening. Facebook.com/Underveil the Awakening. It's the story's got a good premise, and they say you cannot predict the ending. So I'd like to, also get out, throw them a free plug out there.
So what'd you
That
buy
ain't-
at the sale, Joe?
And the book sounds interesting. So
It does sound interesting. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I was looking at their Facebook page, and it's pretty good.
Mm.
And whoever Joanna's
I was
World
wondering about that. Yeah, it's,
Hypothermia. What do we do for hypothermia?
Get
move
warm.
to Georgia.
Okay.
What'd you do?
These booklets that come with all the electronic products that we buy all the time, and
Yeah.
in every language except English.
83 different languages, and the part that you have to read is really only a page and a half long in English, okay? And it's in like 0.5 point type. Not even type, okay?
I have a magnifying glass on my desk just for reading manuals.
Okay? Get this. Let me get back to the English section. For this GoPro camera, okay? The ones that people take scuba diving and surfing and all these wild, okay? Limited lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty. That's a GoPro warrants this product for its useful life, and in parentheses, not to exceed 2 years for products with electrical or electronic components. So it's not your life that it's warranted for, it's for its life, and that's not going to last more than 2 years, they say.
Oh, okay. So
Unless you have a Ouija board, then you can tell them that the electronic device said that it's still alive and that they need to refund your money.
Now, I still have my original GoPro, okay? And then I've got the Hero Black version, and now I've got the Hero 10. So this one worked up until last year. And it would still work if I would buy a new battery for it. But that battery lasted a long time. But it's just funny that they say limited lifetime warranty.
It's kind of a contradiction of terms, isn't it, Lewis?
My wife took me to a store I'd never heard of.
Lifetime.
My wife took me to a store I'd never heard of called Five and Above or something like that.
Five Below.
Five Below, yeah.
Five Below, okay.
My niece loves that store.
They had $20 GoPros with the waterproof case.
Mm-hmm. It's not a GoPro. There are lots of companies out there that are making action cameras that look just like a GoPro, but unless it's got that logo on it, it's not.
These said GoPro on the label. Yeah. And I'm going, okay, somebody had a warehouse full of them.
Or found a truck.
Found something that fell off a truck.
Do you know the story?
They took the whole damn truck.
Do you know the story of how the Sega Dreamcast game system got started?
I do not.
Nope.
Nintendo, I can't remember which Nintendo it was, but Nintendo wanted to build a disc reader for their game machine. So they hired this company to build a disc player to do the games and stuff like this. And somewhere down the line, they said, we're going to go in a different direction and do our own format of disk drive. So we don't need all these disk drives anymore. So they wound up taking all these disk drives that they had made for Nintendo and making their own game machine with it.
Hey.
Well, why let them go to waste?
That's recycling.
Hey, if you get a pile of potatoes, it pays good money to make potato salad. I know. It's a variation of life hands you lemons. Well, if life doesn't hand you sugar and water, it's going to be some really awful lemonade.
I got where you were going with that, Dan.
Well, if life hands you potatoes, sugar, and
make vodka,
water, make vodka.
Shaken, not stirred.
Vodka.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was watching the 1959 Hammer classic, The Curse of Frankenstein, with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Mm-hmm. And Sven Gulli, in between showing the movie, they do little segments. And a lot of times, he'll show everybody who's in the movie and what they were in previous or what you knew them from. And this would be the first Hammer film that would actually bring back, all the monster movie genre again. And of course, Universal was threatening them, do not use any likenesses of Frankenstein or anything else from the Universal world. So that's why Christopher Lee's version of the Frankenstein monster looked quite different
Yeah.
than the one that we all know and love. So I guess when he got the part, and Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, as you might expect, became very close friends while filming this movie. And one day, I guess Christopher Lee walked in very angrily saying to Peter Cushing, "This isn't fair. This is not fair at all. I have no lines in this movie whatsoever." And Peter Cushing calmly responded by saying, "And you're very lucky because I've read all the scenes." He was basically telling about how crappy the writing was in the movie.
They're doing you a
But
favor,
of course,
dude.
he was, well, it brought them both back into the limelight. I think what Christopher Lee was just doing a lot of television or something prior to that. But
Yeah.
and then of course Hammer became the main, what Universal used to be in the 30s and 40s. Hammer was in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I thought. Okay, they were CC. Wasn't there some Hammer in the 70s?
Yeah. And,
Maybe early.
Now,
and after that, I think it switched to Andy Warhol doing what was basically Hammer horror films with porn stars or something, but I'm not sure. Never saw one of the Andy Warhol versions of.
somebody posted up a movie poster today on one of the groups that I'm in. It was the original Tales from the Crypt.
Ooh.
You know, with Joan Collins and
Mm-hmm.
and I said, yeah, I saw that first run at a drive-in theater when I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
People asked you what a drive-in theater was.
Yeah.
They're coming back, actually.
I'll tell you, they did make a comeback during the plague.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I believe that is one of the things that made it big fun again, was that you didn't have to get out of your car.
Hammer Films, just so you know, went into liquidation in 1979.
We have two in
Oh,
our
wow.
area. We got the Midway in Etowah, or near Etowah, and then we've got the
Wildwood.
down in Trenton.
Just this side of Trenton.
Yep. And that one's cool because there's an RV park right near it. You can stay in the RV park and just drive right down the road to.
Yeah, we have the Harvest Moon Drive-In off of 74, just right around Farmer City, Springfield area, and it's a double screen. They actually do show a lot of double features at their drive-ins, and they have a tremendously wonderful old-fashioned snack bar, and then, like what a lot of the drive-ins used to have, was a playground for the kids to go over and play with while the parents watch their movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's family owned, and and they did get a resurgence during the COVID.
Yeah.
And they're doing quite well. I wish we had one a little closer to us. That one's about an hour or so away.
One of the drive-in memories I have is we went to, when I was 10 years old, we went to Florida, to see Disney World, which is, it was around 76. And that's when they were first starting the not having the speaker in the window, using the car stereo.
Uh-huh.
And somehow our hotel overlooked the drive-in theater. People from the hotel would get in their car and all park facing there and turn the car radios on and watch the movie for free.
We had one in Danville called the Dixie Drive-In. And the reason why they called it that, because it's right on the Dixie Highway going from Chicago down south. Originally, in its heyday, the back side of the movie screen, which would be facing the front, facing the Dixie Highway, resembled a Georgian mansion that looked like something right out of Gone with the Wind. It was very unique. I've only seen one. Obviously, this was out before we were ever up here, but I've only seen one very grainy black and white picture of it when they had it. When we saw movies there, that kind of Gone with the Wind mansion facade was tore down, and then it just kind of looked like every other one. But it made it very special because of that.
Yeah. Now, Lewis and John may remember the theater, but I don't know if Lewis was here. I think it already closed up. But I saw Walking Tall where Harbor Freight Tools is on Brainerd Road.
Used to be the Brainerd. What did they call it? I guess Brainerd Village.
No, it wasn't Brainerd Village. Brainerd Village was over in the L corner of Brainerd Village. Harbor Freight was one of the first double theaters,
right,
in the area. And
I'm trying to remember what they called it though. I was thinking it was Brainerd Village Theater or something like that. But
Joe.
Of course, now my family, we either went to the one on 23rd Street or the one in Red Bank.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who lived on that hill above the one across the State Boulevard from the one in Red Bank.
Yeah.
And his dad worked for the telephone company and had run a line over to the theater, tapped in to their speaker system, and they would sit on their deck out back of their house
and watch movies.
And they had a boom box. They'd sit out there on the deck and turn on the movie. And of course, you were looking at a big screen that was, this big.
So yeah, basically like watching it on a phone, but you had full stereo sound.
And Timmer Korea, who is tuned in from Twitch. Thank you for tuning in to Twitch. We appreciate it. Be sure to, I don't know if it's like or subscribe or what you do on Twitch, but be sure to make sure you know when we're on. He says...
we have a Twitter. When did we get Twitter?
Since I'm banned, I might as well, shotgun all the networks.
Yeah, really. On Twitter, it's just an announcement the show is happening.
Joe got banned from Facebook because he likes grandma, and
run that scroll, Joe, of everywhere you got banned.
Oh,
or every country.
Yeah,
and so we're not allowed on Facebook for 30 days. Thanks, Joe. And
there we go.
Andorra got banned twice? Oh.
No, we're banned in those countries because of Dan's music.
I knew I was doing something right. I knew I was doing something right. Yeah. Now if I could just get banned in Boston, I'll probably sell some more albums.
Wait a minute. We're banned in those countries because of Dan's music. Can you explain this one a bit more? Elaborate.
His evil, devilish rock and roll music.
Well, They claim they own the copyright to Dan's music.
Which is demonstrably wrong because the copyright notice is on every upload of every song.
I think I know the guy that owns that music actually, and he
Yeah.
says it wrong. And
Dan sold out and he hasn't told us yet.
Oh no! If I was getting money from all them countries, would I still be doing this show?
Well,
Yes.
the one that really gets me that we're banned in is we're banned in Antarctica.
Well, you know, it's all that
That's
classical
cool.
music. It keeps making them doze off. They think they're suffering from hypothermia, like the guy that just got banned.
All because Joe Dog pissed off the penguins down there.
Oh, okay.
Whack, 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 whack.
Yeah, Chris is saying internet's being panned again. Yeah. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and cut all that off. All right. Oh, you said Twitter. Yeah, no, actually, the show is broadcasting live on Twitter right now.
Really? I thought it was just a notice
Wow.
that the show was available.
No,
I did not know they would do live broadcasts.
Yeah, we're doing live 2 hours. We are taking up 2 hours of Elon's time.
Yeah,
I now have a chance for Elon to actually watch the show.
he's going to be pissed.
It's the Musk Hour.
Yeah, we started Twitch, what, about 3-4 months ago? Or was
No, it's been around longer than that. It's been almost a year.
Twitch started during virtual HallowCon.
that was 2 years? Well, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's Joe's had the Twitch channel for a long time.
Oh, for those of y'all who don't know at home what we're talking about, you can take your StreamYard broadcast and you can broadcast to YouTube channels, Facebook channels, Twitch, Twitter, all these different things. And right now, we're looking at
8.
1 Facebook, 5 YouTubes, a Twitch, and a Twitter.
Yeah.
And all the TVs in Joe's neighbors' houses.
And we normally have more Facebooks, but Joe likes grandmas. And
Say what?
Joe likes grandmas more than most people do.
I will actually read it.
Yes, Joe likes grandmas the way grandpas do.
He got the granny ban.
Your grandma, so.
Really, it was an innocent statement. Good grief, folks. There was no ill intent, and actually no bannable language. It was just
Okay. Let me go back. I messed up here.
well, that's a first.
All right. Where'd it go? I lost it again. Hold on a minute. Your post goes against community standards on adult sexual solicitation. Now, here's what I said, Lewis. People on this was from July 5th, 2019. I posted up. Yeah, that was when, the Ashley Madison or whatever was going on about the sugar mamas and the sugar daddies and all that. I said, people on here are wanting a sugar mama or a sugar daddy. Not me. I want a sugar granny. Buy me all the crap I want. Cook me great comfort food meals, plus pies and cakes. I'd do damn near anything for that.
4 years later,
Yeah.
4 years later, I get a 30-day ban.
From a granny bot.
from a granny bot. Yes.
Facebook is going to make themselves irrelevant.
I think they passed that point about 5 years ago.
We're still using it. So
Yeah, I know we're still using it.
at some point, they're going to go the way of MySpace.
The alternative is oh Lord, I've got membership there and I can't even remember it. I don't even look at it
MeWe.
anymore. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yes, indeed.
I've got one friend on me, and
I've got lots of friends on MeWe. It's the same ones that are on Facebook. That they post the same stuff on that they do on Facebook, and I'm going, well, you know.
I got banned from MeWe.
and my friends quit posting on it. I can live without it.
I got a permanent MeWe ban. I got a permanent MeWe ban. I opened an account and I said, I'm here to see what all this crap is about. Boop, could never log in again. Your account is closed.
You're just pissing everybody off, aren't you?
Hey, when you can do it.
If you got it, flaunt it.
And if you ain't, steal it.
Yeah.
Carl, you just, damn it, Carl, you just screwed up. He said how he never ended up in Facebook jail. Weird.
That's
now they're
'cause
going to come looking for you.
Well, well, private group maybe, but I don't know how wide of a safety belt that is.
So, did you hear the story about the kid that started the lemonade stand? And he's out in Washington State. He starts this lemonade stand, and somebody paid for their lemonade with a $100 bill and asked for exact change. And he winds up, the guy bought $15 in lemonade. So the kid gives him $85 in change back, and it turns out it was a counterfeit bill.
Oh.
So here's this kid thinking he just made himself a fortune with his lemonade stand. And, well, apparently donations have been rolling in. So this kid has actually made more money by getting ripped off than he did selling lemonade.
You know, I'm glad for the kid, and I'm glad that people want to help him out, but the kid didn't want to listen.
He's already made $1,800 so far.
Yeah. I mean, now the kid thinks being victim is an easy way to get money. We got too many people in society thinking that. Man. I would love it if somebody, one person, had donated to, make it easier on him, eliminate that loss. But once you go into the game, I got a problem with that.
Now,
oh, Joe, you're not going to go there, are you?
Oh yeah, I'm going to go there. Lewis is talking about, me pissing everybody off. Lewis, just so you know, I am now a certified smartass.
All right.
There he goes, showing his ass again.
Did we lose Bill? I didn't include.
Evidently.
Either that or you replace him with an ass.
Hi, Carl. Hi, Donna. Dan even had to go on that one.
Hi, guys.
Hey, I'm looking at Dan right now. Dan's laughing so hard he can't talk.
I think he spit his teeth out.
Thankfully, I didn't have them in. Ah, good Lord. There's some. We're really cruel to our friends, sometimes.
Hey.
I know that's a manly thing to do, but
Hey, nobody's safe in this show.
nobody's safe anywhere.
Hey,
We
you
didn't call
guys
it-
give
we
you guys
didn't
give
call-
me
We
hell
did
all.
not call the show Friendly O'Clock. We called it Stupid O'Clock. So,
Oh no, Carl, I didn't get pissed off. I'm just,
Carl, he couldn't breathe and had to cut the camera off. He was laughing too hard.
I'm just glad I didn't have a mouthful of adult beverage at that time. Otherwise, Joe Dog would owe me a new camera. Oh Lord! And
Yeah,
actually,
camera.
it was Bill's. It was John's remark that I was laughing at.
And Bill's back.
I think we got Bill back.
okay, Here we go. Bill's back. Okay. Let's-
One of these days.
I feel like I've been part of a joke that I'm unaware of.
Hey, you are.
It's
Okay.
probably better that way. Don't watch the rerun. Don't watch the replay.
No, I don't plan on. I was going to say, no need to explain. Just move on.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. These are not the droids you're looking for.
I promise Frank Burns was not mentioned.
Oh,
How about Henry Blake?
No, that would have been a definite step up.
John saw it, but Lewis, you should have seen it. Dan was actually had his hand over his mouth, covering.
I'm sorry. I there.
Well, I know right before I froze up, I was looking down at my phone and I saw myself in the screen, and it kind of looked like how I found Dan one night. Kind of.
Last night, yeah. Yes, I nodded off in the green room last night. Woke up 2 hours later, and Donna and Rich were still talking. Rejoined the conversation as if I had never left, except for that missing time.
Well, Dan, I've got something for you next time you fall asleep. As I start to roll your end credit for you, when you fall asleep, I'm gonna do this.
Copyright strike right there.
We didn't go over 10 seconds.
You better not.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not even the tried and true remedy of a sexy woman's voice could wake me up. I was that tired. But it was Friday. I had a long, difficult day at
I was
work.
going to say, when I left, both
When you left,
both
what?
Anna and Donna were still in there when I left.
Uh-huh.
No, I just said what. Oh,
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's one thing that makes Fridays difficult. My supervisor keeps assigning extra jobs, extra tests that I hope Stoner sleeps tonight. Sorry, dude, you're about 25 years too late for that one. Missed the mark entirely.
Oh, dang, and I found that file too, and I didn't re-upload it. Damn it.
What?
Captain Stan's.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Lewis's finest moment poking fun at me. And that is all one sentence.
Hold on. I can find it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new
Oh,
business venture as soon as the laws change in this state. I do have a family
I
farm to
found it.
support.
I found it. I found it. Uh,
Dueling click and paste. Ding 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 ding. Okay, ends.
Captain Dan CBD infused liniment.
That's a new one.
Captain Dan's blunt.
Oh,
Still have that one?
I don't think you can find that. That's the first time I've seen the liniment one.
Okay. Put that up again.
The liniment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new one on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, why couldn't you have called him Lieutenant Dan?
No, he's wearing a captain's hat there.
Mm. Lieutenant Dan.
Hey, a little dabble do ya?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we claim it's 4%, but it's more like 45.
Little dabble do you in.
I
Yeah,
love listening to these comedians who talk about the first time they tried an edible. You know, you're only supposed to break off a little pinch, and they eat the whole damn brownie.
this is not the green room. This is not the green room. Shut up, Dan. Shut up, Dan.
And they say, they eat the little pinch, and it don't, 30 minutes later it don't work. So they eat some more, still ain't work. Then about 45 minutes later it hits, and it's a ride that you can't get off of.
Mm.
And then Dan is saying, how am I driving? I think you're parked, man.
Oh, he is Canadian. Well, hey, if Tim is Canadian, that means we're international, right?
Again, yes.
Fairly.
What?
Just a little bit.
That's a dog that found the edibles.
They're only supposed to sniff for them, not munch them down. I tell you one thing.
Chilled Chihuahua.
That is a chilled chihuahua. Right
If I ever come out with a brand of cough drops, I'm going to have to license Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath for the intro music. There are people out there that actually get that joke. Not any of y'all kids, but.
Well, I've always talked about my Mexican Coke, so why not Captain Dan's CBD liniment?
Yeah, Carl, when you wait on the Girl Scouts, the police are looking out too. That's a sting operation waiting to happen.
I'm going to brag right now. My dealer didn't get me this year. I didn't buy any Girl Scout. God, it was hard. Oh, it was tempted.
Now you know why the chihuahua was at Taco Bell.
Munchies, man.
Oh, I love Lewis. Did you hear the story of what happened to the Taco Bell Chihuahua? Taco went under new ownership or whatever, and the first thing they did was fire the ad agency.
Yeah.
Well, the ad agency in their wisdom, they own the copyrights or the IP for the talking Chihuahua.
Hmm.
Geico hired them. That's. Do you remember the commercial with the Geico spokesman auditions?
Yeah.
And the Chihuahua comes out, and the guy goes, "Oh, great, a talking Chihuahua." That was directly aimed at Taco Bell for firing them. Taco Bell sent them a cease and desist, and they went, "We own the IP."
Hmm. And by the way, that's Chihuahua to you. As Les Nessman would say.
You know, I always said if they ever legalize marijuana in Georgia, I'm going to open a store in a strip mall right next to Dunkin' Donuts and Taco Bell.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That would be, or a Krispy Kreme. Well,
They're
there's
kind of a thing of the past. You know, speaking of Dunkin' Donuts, really quickly, I noticed they're not calling them Dunkin' Donuts anymore. Now it's just called Dunkin'.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that have Dunkin' Donuts on, like old ornaments or whatever, are actually selling for some really pricey things on eBay here lately.
I am on this Chattanooga Pics website. They bring up these old pictures of Chattanooga. And they showed this one the other day of the Howard Johnson that used to be down right off the interstate where Broad Street, Market Street run into the interstate down south. It's still there. It's still there, but it's not a Howard Johnson anymore. It's owned by somebody else. And it used to have the Hojo restaurant across the street from the hotel, and it's something else now too. So, but somebody was talking about it, how there used to be everything in. If you went in there, everything was Howard Johnson. They had their own cigarettes and whatever soap and stuff like that. But they had their own soda called Hojo Soda. And it kind of like, Sam's Cola or something like that. It was a knockoff Coca-Cola. But strange enough, this one guy had this box that had a Hojo Cola glass in it. Collectible glass. And he said, those things are going. He bought the whole thing for $10 back in the 70s. Or 70s or 80s, late 70s. He said, those things are going at auction right now for $1,500 for a soda glass.
Bill, you're the antique guy. About what does a 36-inch tall Raggedy Ann and Andy go for?
Well, they made them all the way through the 90s or whatever, but if you find a really old one, which Johnny Griel was originally from Arcola, Illinois, where they still have a Raggedy Ann and Andy museum. And they have one of the first ones in there, and it's supposed to be worth several $1,000s. That would have been back, I can't remember how many years after the first book that they made the first rag doll, but I mean, they've been making them since like the 30s.
Well, this is at least a 70s model.
Right.
I got two of them. I got them both for $20 a piece.
So, like early mid 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm checking something here real quick.
You're going to have to tell him what the significance of this pair of Raggedy Anns.
They're going
Well,
to be so nice with the theme of HallowCon this year. And Annabelle is a 36-inch Raggedy Ann doll.
mhm.
So I'm going to have to.
And
Trying to-
you know your wife is going to work up a costume.
Probably.
Oh, so one of the things that was sold at the auction last night uh, was this big rubber Raggedy Ann head. It was like a full rubber mask. It looked creepier than Chucky. I kid you not. I don't know when this was made. The people that bought, they had them in a bag of them, and the people that bought them was just overjoyed about getting it.
Was this like a football team mascot sized rubber head?
Not quite that big, but one that, like, if you would go to with those Halloween stores that open up in vacant buildings, and it's a latex rubber mask, but it's full front and back. It's just a little bit larger size than a human head, of course, but this one was an adult size. And so then, and right now, Joe Dog,
Yeah.
most of the ones that I'm seeing, from the 70s are in the $25 to $30 range. There is one Raggedy Ann plastic posable doll, rooted yarn hair, Nasco doll incorporated. Looks a little different than what you normally would. And
Down a little
80
bit. Down a little bit.
okay.
Oh! What are they wanting for that?
$90.
So
$89.99.
$90.
There's 3 of them up on the mountain right now.
Well, the price just went up.
Well, too, condition is everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They have
And
been
here's
they have been well loved.
yeah, I could imagine.
Sorry
Don't
about
do that.
What?
Ringgold is under a flood warning. Not a watch, a warning.
Oh, that's not good.
Would somebody spill a glass of water?
We are under a flash flood warning until 12:30.
$50
for a regular.
That's
Raggedy
also
Ann.
from the 70s, yeah. I mean, there's some throughout the years there were variations in the costumes, and like here's one from the 70s that has a simplicity pattern, and 59.38 on those. So if you go to eBay, Joe Dog, type it in and just actually hit your filter and look at the sold prices, which I'm not doing right at the moment, but that'll give you a better idea.
All right.
What yours is.
I've spent about $100 on dolls, and I've not paid. The Raggedy Ann and Andy's the only ones I've paid big money for, because those are what I want. Most of the dolls I've got, I paid $1 for. So they're going to be decorated all up on the behind the bar at the con suite, and scattered throughout places.
It should be fun until late Saturday night, early Sunday morning when they jump down off the wall and start stalking us with large shiny knives.
Well, I do have a little RC unit that can make one of the head. I could make one of the doll's heads turn, so I'm gonna have fun with that.
Uh-huh.
I'll probably do it while you're standing next to it, Dick.
And I'll just look at it and go, anytime, make my day.
Well, my little sister is heavily into Holly Hobby, and they actually had some Holly Hobby dolls from the 70s there. Not that I asked her sister about getting them, and she said, well, she never had them when she was a kid. That's probably why she's into Holly Hobby so much, but not so much the dolls, but other things she's into and
Good night,
all
Carl.
that. But good night, Carl.
Now my wife has one of those American Girl dolls from back in the day. This thing is actually worth some money. She's also got an Edwardian era, or at least, if not Edwardian, late Victorian, but I do believe it's Edwardian. It is a teddy bear, and it is one of the really, really early British designs of teddy bears. And this thing, it's in good condition for its age, but incalculable value. Seriously.
Dan, if you saw the box of how many American Girl dolls I bought this weekend,
No.
Let me tell you something about American Girl dolls.
I don't think those are extremely valuable unless there were different editions that were collectible. But the one that Lindsay's got is basically one of the originals, and it's got pride of place in the living room right next to a teddy bear that came with a leather jacket from my high school.
Every year, in about a month from now, American Girl's website will open up to where you can buy their, like how Barbies have holiday Barbies every year, and you can't hardly give those away. The American Girl doll, Christmas American Girl dolls, with what every year it's a different style clothing, what have you. They sell those. You are limited to 3 that you can buy. I'm trying to think of the price of them right off the top of my head, but anyway, I think it's around $100 or $125, something like that. Anyway, long story short, every year Laura buys 3 of these, and no, it's more than 150. I think it's like 250 or almost 300. But anyway, she buys 3 of these, and then right after Thanksgiving, she'll put one up for auction on eBay, and then a couple weeks later put another one, and then the third one. She gets on the upper end of $600 to $700 for each one of these dolls. And these people, they go nuts for them. There's tons of American Girl dolls in every shape, color, and size, and all the clothes and that, and they're all worth something, some more than others. But these Christmas ones that they come out with every year, that's the big money maker. If you're looking to do that, you got to put some money back to get them initially. And but yeah, it's crazy. And if you go on there and type in eBay in the sold, under the sold filter for Christmas American Girl dolls, and see what some of these sold for, you just won't believe it.
I'm finding myself doing searches for old Black and Decker rechargeable tools. I need battery packs for specific models or something. I found one today, and then I opened another box which has a totally different design battery pack. These are things that were given to me by a friend that was moving out of state many years ago, and I never got around to looking for them. And now it would be useful to have those battery packs, and I'm trying to find obsolete stuff.
Are they NiCad or lithium ion?
I haven't the faintest idea. I've just got the tools. I don't have the battery packs.
Well, the ones that we use when we go up to Chicago are we have a weed eater, hedge trimmers, and leaf blowers, and they all use the same 20-volt lithium ion batteries.
This is old enough to be like a 7.5 volt. The one that I have not found yet.
So those probably are nickel cadmium.
Yep, and one of them still has the tag on it. It's a basically a very, very small circular saw. It has never been used. I mean, the tag is still hanging on it. I looked at the blade. It has no wear on it whatsoever. And it uses the same battery pack as a drill, and then there's a rechargeable screwdriver in there too, but it uses like a totally different battery pack.
Driver.
Nope. It is a battery-powered screwdriver, just like a drill motor made in screwdriver shape, basically.
Did they all come like in a big duffel bag?
No, they were in a box, but it's not necessarily they were packaged that way. It was
right.
These were things that somebody bought and didn't have the chargers, didn't have the power packs, and stuck in a closet. And then when they decided to move off to a different state, they just gave them to me because, hey, we didn't want to throw these away. They might be good. And I had them stuck in a closet myself, and now I'm pulling them out going, this would be useful if I had the power pack to make it work. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take it to the recycle bin.
If you do find out that they are nickel cadmium and you wish to upgrade, which would be my suggestion, instead of buying the actual Black & Decker brand batteries, you can go on Amazon, buy, and I can't remember what name it is. I have them down over in the closet. They look just like it, same color, everything, minus the Black & Decker brand on there. So instead of paying, I think it's $36.99 for one battery, that is the Black & Decker brand, you're paying about $10 to $12 less for this brand, which the name eludes me. Laura found it on Amazon, and they had the chargers, the little clip chargers that you plug into the end of them as well on that. I mean, they're wonderful. I mean, you know.
Well, all I need to do is find a battery pack that fits this design. I don't care what company makes it, as long as the tool works.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a charger so that the tool only works, will work longer than one charge lasts.
All right.
So
all those battery packs usually have a combination of little batteries, and each battery is like 1.5 volts. They're all wired together. They're all wired together in a sequence. One series. So like the 12 volt will have 9 of them, and 18 volt will have 12 of them inside that little plastic pack. You take the little plastic pack apart, pull that little battery thing about, take pictures of it, how it's soldered together.
Yeah.
You can take that apart, order just the little 1.5 volt battery. You can get a whole block of them for like $1 a piece.
Yeah, well, the problem is, John, they don't have the pack itself.
Yeah, he didn't have.
You don't have the pack. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The gadgets that I've got did not actually come with the battery packs or a charger, so I would need to get the thing that would actually plug into the tool. Yes, I'm well aware you can replace the individual batteries in them, but and you're right, absolutely right. Take a photo so that you know how to wire it back up. That would be well within my ability to do if I had the pack itself to do something with. Right now, they're just a handle with a big gaping hole in one end of it.
Yeah.
And I hate to throw away new stuff. I mean, it's never been used.
So this here is a legitimate Black & Decker brand lithium-ion battery, and it'll say it on the back and that. This here is what replaces them. I mean, it's slightly different, but really not much, and it will not do anything.
As long as it plugs in and makes the tool work, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
This is not collector value stuff. I'm just looking to make the tool useful.
And same way with the chargers. This is a Black & Decker one, and they just slide in like that. And they do have the generic chargers that go with that.
This is one my brother had. This is a Black & Decker Classic.
Yeah.
And unlike all this stuff, it ain't plastic.
It ain't?
No, and I've got the battery in there. And this one's it's got all sorts of really cool stuff on it. But the battery died. And they don't make the batteries anymore, so they can't find the batteries. But I've got everything in there and documented and pulled apart. The problem is I need to get a new soldering iron and soldering set. But it's cool.
Yeah. But I've got a job lined up to where it would be a whole lot easier with rechargeable drill, or basically what I'm going to use it for is a screwdriver, but I wouldn't have to run a drop cord through the yard and then into the crawl space and back up almost to where it would plug in. It'd have to pretty much the drop cord would have to wrap twice around the house to do it, or knock a hole in the floor and run it from the hallway. But
I was going to say, do you have any old holes in the floors or the walls that maybe when you had cable or something?
No.
Air vent?
Nope.
Oh, you don't have air. That's right.
Well, yeah, I do have central heat and air, but that'd be a job to take one of those loose and then put it back.
20-pound sledgehammer, that's all you need.
No. I did have one when I put down a new floor in the living room. We had one of the heat vents that came up. It was underneath where we've got the electric fireplace in the living room. So I said, ain't no use to having that thing there. It's just going to be pumping out heat and be trapped by the wooden plinth that the fireplace is put in. So I didn't put it back. I just took the sheet metal loose from it and duct taped the stump of the vent pipe there so that it wasn't blowing hot air out into the crawl space of the house. It actually made the rest of the vents in the house a little bit more efficient because that was one less 25-foot length of pipe that was getting hot air run through it and was being diverted into the other vents. So, minuscule change, but it worked out all right. No, I was just thinking, and one of them I've already found the replacement battery packs and the a charger to make them work, and now I'm waiting on them to be delivered, and then I gotta crawl under the house into the crawl space and say hello to the black widow spiders and say please don't bite me and do the job and get out from under the house as quickly as possible. But already got the parts made. I just had to crawl under there and put them in the right place and put the screws in. So.
Well, the day before you go to do all this, set off a couple bug bombs underneath the house.
It's going to take more than a couple. It's like 1,200 square feet of house. So is the crawl space.
Couple dozen then.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that would get expensive too. And the spiders under the house don't react to the bug bombs at all. They're neither annoyed nor inconvenienced by them.
Makes them glow and grow.
No, they just go getting thick around here. Going to be some dead roaches. That's about all it affects is the palmetto bugs crawling in from the yard, and that's nice to keep them out of the house. Yeah, I've actually set off a couple of dozen bug bombs underneath the house before, and at the same time as setting off about 6 or 8 inside the house. I figured I'd get them top and bottom.
Good night, Sarah.
I hate to say this. I'm about to fall out myself. It's early.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Oh, well, y'all try not to get me, 5 or 6 YouTube bans while I'm gone.
So you want 7? Come on, we're good, but we're not that good.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to bring those numbers up.
Well, actually, you would only get me 4. You'd get Dan 1. So.
All right. John, you got ops, or do I have to juggle both shows?
I can run it if lightweight has to go to bed.
Yeah. My back's giving me a fit. I walk probably 5, 6 miles a day. For somebody in my shape, that's a lot of walking.
Definitely going to leave you my sciatica in my will.
Yeah, those flea markets are worth it, though. We do one in October over in Park County, Indiana, Covered Bridge Festival. And I get more steps in that day than I do most all week.
Bill, this was about 12 miles of yard sales.
All on one stretch of road.
Yep. Of course, I will tell you this. Nobody here watching will actually do this. But if you go on one of those, long road yard sales where the antique guy said, don't even stop there. The little side roads that's having the yard sales, that's where you make your deals.
Yep.
Friday, Donna bought a window air conditioner for $35. And it worked.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it works for 1 year, you've
Hey, if it works for a week,
done
you
paid
still
for it.
spent good money.
Well,
Mhm.
what was so funny is I turned it on about 68 to cool down. We have separate rooms. We can't sleep. We love each other, but we can't sleep together. I put it on 68. I came in the next morning, and she had it moved up to 74. I said, "Why you got it turned up so high?" She goes, "Because my teeth were chattering." So it's a good air conditioner.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, thanks guys for being here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm just beat. I'm gonna hit a couple things, answer a couple emails, and I'm going to bed.
Well, get some rest.
And, and,
So
and
I want everybody in the studio audience to start emailing Joe just like really, really fast. Just to
Start dinging them on
so I have to
Messenger.
stay up for the next 2 hours.
I'll
I
turn
was
mine
getting,
off. I'll turn.
I was
mine-
getting,
You were getting what?
no, I was just going to say I was getting dinged on Facebook Messenger at 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30 this morning, and it was Nita Lanning. It was the Green Room Messenger,
Yeah.
asking about if anybody checked on Uncle Carl or whatever. I don't know what it was all about. It was too early for me, and I'm like, why are these people still up?
Well, have y'all noticed I haven't dropped into the green room in the past 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Or even tried to check to see if y'all were still there at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I don't check.
All right. Good night. Well, Bill, that's mainly because I've been banned.
You weren't banned from the green room.
No, I'm banned from Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, Joe Dog.
I want to leave. Don't ask me. I pushed the button.
Pushes everybody's buttons. That's the problem.
So I was asked when Joe Dog first told me about the sale that he went to today.
Too soon.
I asked him to look for a Tiffany lamp for me, but last night at the auction, I found a really nice Mission style leaded glass lamp that I got there. It's actually a 2 bulb that go out horizontal opposite from each other, and they're supposed to have pull chains on there. Well, somebody rewired this, and the base of it is remarkably freaking heavy. The base has got to be 30 pounds. I kid you not. It was just a mean thing to try to carry out to my car. And so anyway, I asked my friend who's really handy with electrical stuff, and he helped me rewire, had some issues with a floor lamp. And so I asked him, he came over to Jenny's cell today that I was working at, and I asked him about it, and he said, well, you think you might be able to redo it? He says, or if not, just buy a whole new, piece to redo the whole guts of it and that. But I mean, I really love it, and as you see, I got it on a nice spot that I had all reserved for it on my antique library table by my living room window. I even went out last night after I plugged it in and turned it on, went outside to look through my living room window to see how it looked. But I was happy with it.
Yep. I have now rebuilt 2 Edison Mazda wiring pole lamps. and did a total rewire on them because Edison Mazda wiring has cloth insulation, which and was DC. So basically, all of it except the metal had to be replaced, and those things, they're just regular lamps now. I've got LED bulbs in them, and there's one that we rarely ever turn off. Before Lindsay and I got married, when I was the first one that I rebuilt, I had it in the trailer that I lived in, and that thing stayed on for about 8 years with one light bulb in it, and cost me about $3 a month, maybe at the most. Probably less than that, but this was before LEDs. It had a ring, one of the ring-shaped fluorescent bulbs in it, and that thing was basically my night light, my security light, and don't stub my toe on the furniture light. So, and I've rebuilt it again, and now it's got LED bulbs in it here in the house here. Now that we've got those scattered everywhere in the house, almost every light bulb in the house now is LED, and the electric bill is dramatically lower. Went through 3 generations of lowering the electric bill. Started off with the regular incandescents, then went to compact fluorescent lights and fluorescent tubes, and then went to LEDs. And each generation of new lighting, the electric bill dropped significant amounts. I mean, and
my outside light is LED, and it actually puts out a nice piece of light, for being something just for the front porch. But I do have the compact fluorescent ones that look like a regular light bulb, and they're soft white.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 places in the house that we still have incandescent bulbs. One's in the hallway, which it lights up my bookcase so I can see the titles of the books. And the other is my walk-in closet so I can see the colors of my clothes. I've tried putting LED bulbs in there. They're just not bright enough for me to see color. So had to go back to the old school. But
those compact fluorescents, I think they advertise them to be like 10-year bulbs or something like that. Or
yeah,
I've had mine for probably 5 or 6 years so far. I with the exception of that mission lamp that I just showed, which had already had bulbs in it, which was just standard light bulbs. And I will eventually change those. I thought, well, since I've already have them, I'll just leave them in there until one or both burn out. If one burns out, I'll replace both, but till then I figure I might as well use them.
Well, I bought a 10-pack of a budget brand LED bulb when we first started going from the fluorescents to the LEDs, and put one in a ceiling socket over the washer and dryer in the bathroom, and that has never been turned off. Only time that light bulb goes out is when the power goes out. And
now
it's been burning for over 10 years. Same bulb.
I know they say, and this was the talk just with the regular bulbs back in the day, that if you don't turn something on and off all the time, you'll lengthen the life of the bulb. And of course, everything that they always said about that, and I understand that to be true. My compact fluorescents, I will turn them off. Something my grandmother installed in me when I was a wee lad, that if you leave a room, darken the room that you're leaving. She always did that, and that was her way of saving energy.
Yep. Well, I do that too, and Lindsay, to an even greater extent, she won't turn the light on. She'll go in the kitchen and be preparing food, cooking, whatever, and it's just whatever light comes in through the window is what she's working with, unless it's full dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in there and they go, "Honey, there's a switch on the wall here. It's why I replaced the bulbs so that you could see what you were doing and not cut your finger off chopping carrots or whatever it is." She goes, "I don't need the light. I don't need the light."
Yeah, you walk into Jenny's house, it's like walking into a cave. And then I start turning the lights on. She goes, what do you need that on for? What do you need that on for? And I say, because I'm not a bat.
Looking for bears.
It was I helped her today. We're taking next weekend off because we're trying to add a lot more to it, and we got people asking about tools and stuff. But we got up around 90 today, or lower 90s, but the heat indexes were about 10 degrees higher than that. So we were in triple digits, and humidity, it was a killer. And a good majority of her cells are in this big, huge, long pole barn, but still a little bit outside. And our goal is to move everything inside the garage, because she's wanting to have these cells all the way through the first snow. And I said, well, then you don't want anything outside, because you know how rainy October usually is around here. And but it was miserable today. And so I've been up since 5:30 or so this morning, after going to, I think I left the green room a little bit after 11 last night, took my shower, went to bed. So it was about 11:30 before my head hit the pillow, and been a very long day. So I'm going to gladly enjoy our weekend off next weekend. But I will be back over there this week to help her with other stuff and put up new tables and everything. I'm a fairly good organizer and she's been talking about having garage sales for the last 15 years, but she never had them. So anytime she mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, sure you are. And I'm going to be a billionaire. But when she finally buckled down and started pulling stuff out and called me over to help her move tables and that, I realized, okay, she's finally going to do it. So now I'm trying to be as supportive as I possibly can with her, because she's the money that she is making from these sales are going to she's restoring a house basically right across the highway from where she lives. And she's had this house for quite a while, but she's either had not the money or the help or both into getting it finished and that. So she wants to get it done before she becomes a senior citizen. So this money. And so she's been averaging about $200 every sale, which she only does it on Saturday. So that's her profit on that. And I even sold a few things today too, but it's mainly all for her. So that money from those sales, that goes directly into her funds to buy, drywall or whatever needs to be bought for the other house. And that, because she literally started with a shell, and she did new roof and siding and everything on the outside first many years ago. And I told her, I said, before you get this done, you're going to have to put another new roof on this house again. I said, that's just how long it's taking, but and it's by no means not her fault that it's happening, but it just a bunch of extenuating circumstances and just a lack of funds. So, and she has a lot of stuff she needs to just get rid of. She's trying to downsize. And she kind of marveled about how much I downsized in the last 10 years, moving a couple times and having 3 generations of my family's furniture and antiques and just personal belongings to get down to what I have now. And it's really rough. And it's not only physically rough, but it's emotionally rough too, because of attachments on things. And I just drove Dan off. He just walked out. I think he had to make a beer run.
Was that was? Joe took off talking about being sleepy, and all these other people took off talking about being sleepy. And now I'm sleepy. But I'm not running off.
I feel bad because I've been so busy getting everything organized with this.
I'm hoping to see your GoPro working here in your phone.
And I left the camera on so you knew I was coming back, and all of a sudden
it went blip.
I need to use my GoPro for a shoot in the morning, so I was.
Yeah.
I apologize. You've been having to the top of my head the whole night. Not my best feature. What is?
It's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I mean, I've heard the ladies talk about what a handsome man you are, so I'm not buying it.
I don't need to hear that.
Just don't let Lewis's wife find out about it.
Oh,
well,
what? Oh, poor girl, trusts me. So I bought something from Amazon last month, and I get an email, a snail mail from the company. It was this solar cell phone charger.
Huh.
You can charge it up using USB or using the sun, and this will recharge your cell phone probably 3 times before you need to recharge it again. And I got this, as a backup, but I get a postcard from the company. Dear friend, we wish you, your family, and friends safe and healthy. Okay. Obviously, this is Chinese. Thank you for purchasing Abnoy's solar power bank. The product is undergoing an activity. Follow the steps below, and you will get a $25 gift card. Firstly, give the product a 5-star good review. Okay, this is against Amazon policy.
yes.
You're not supposed to buy reviews. So I went to Amazon, and I was going to narc on them and try to, get Amazon to take a look at these guys, because they've put their email address and everything on there. I searched and searched and searched. There ain't no place on Amazon where you can report fraudulent activity like this. No place.
That's unusual. That is unusual.
I would look, and I'm a pretty good researcher. I've been a journalist all my life. No place. and there's nowhere where you can create an abstract to them. Everything has to fit neatly in one of their categories so that you can, send a pre-formed message. There's no email address to a supervisor or fraud department or anything. Everything has to fit in, and they don't have a category for somebody fraudulently trying to buy a review. So, but yet they say they are diligently trying to weed out fake reviews. Well, not diligently enough if I'm trying to point one out so that you can bust their ass and you ignore them.
They have a number you can call that's a fraud department, but apparently it's only for fraudulent payments.
Bingo. They're only worried about that. They're not worried about people trying to do this kind of stuff. And I mean, like the product works. I would have given it a 5-star review, but it pisses me off that they're trying to buy a 5-star review.
So what you just said, Lewis, make that your review. Say, I would have gave them a 5-star review because the product works, but because of what they're asking for, is fraudulent, and make that part of the review.
That's a brilliant idea.
To send Amazon, and I mean they're using the Amazon logo. I mean,
that's ballsy.
I would want to know about this stuff.
Wow.
And
what's this company again?
The name of the company is Abnoise Solar Power Bank. I mean, the thing is it's the exact same product you can get from 80 or 90 different vendors on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's just these Chinese companies. They crank these things out like they're water, and they have 100 different names that they sell it under.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's really neat because it's even got a built-in flashlight.
Fancy.
I bet that's what actually sold him on it.
It's sitting under my lamp, so it's fully charged all the time.
I can see that it's charged.
Using the electric power grid to charge up a solar battery. Yes, I can see that. That's a pun right there. Talk about physical comedy. Oh Lord. Yep. And there are other things that Amazon does like that really tick me off. I've heard horror stories from writer friends of mine. They will send out advanced reader copies of their latest book, asking people to read them, and if you like it, leave a review.
Yeah. And
then they go and find out that Amazon's been correlating their friends list with the writer, and make sure when somebody who's on the writer's friends list leaves a review, it's reported as a sock puppet, and the review gets taken down.
Yeah.
I'm going, hey, wait a minute. I actually read this. I actually like it. I'm actually going through the motions of posting a review. It's not like I'm a bot that can generate this stuff in 500 of them in 30 seconds. I own a copy,
Yep.
Actually bought the real ebook in case there were corrections that got done after I got the e-arc. So far, none of my reviews have been taken down, but I feel like it's only a matter of time because I know like half the writers on the frickin' planet. Can't tell people how good somebody's book is because I know them.
Yeah.
What kind of rule is that? What if I didn't like it? What if I thought this was totally
he may be
bad?
A friend, but his book sucks. Okay.
Yeah, really. I really like this guy, but he can't write worth shit.
I know somebody like that.
Yeah. Well, you probably know more writers than I do, and you're one of the few.
His books are horse crap, but he makes a great cup of coffee.
Well, I mean, Lewis knows reporters. I
Yeah.
know fiction writers, and Lewis probably knows more reporters than I know fiction writers. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, Lewis, maybe things will be different when you go out and buy your next charger. It'll be a propane powered solar charger. Oh, geez.
Oh, what was that Frank Zappa joke? Something about a kerosene powered, uh, not a record player. Oh no, I can't remember. I can't remember the full joke now, so I really shouldn't have said anything. But right now the thing that's going through my mind is the line about, is that a real poncho? Is that a Sears poncho? Oh Lord. Yeah, Zappa. I'm sorry. Yep, Zappa says whatever Zappa wants, and I miss the man terribly, terribly. Cancer is a horrible disease.
I I had a poster on my bedroom wall for years. It was Frank Zappa reading the newspaper, sitting on a toilet, and it said Phi Zappa Crappa, kind of like a fraternity name.
Uh
Phi
huh.
Zappa. I always wanted to join that fraternity, but alas, it didn't exist.
You had the poster. You've joined.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, are you ready? I found the quote that Frank Zappa said. The kerosene record player is not a very efficient device. That is so Zappa.
It's probably a little bit better than the hand cranked Victrola from the 20s or whenever that was.
I
Oh,
like those.
I actually have
They're
I actually have a key to wind one up.
I've seen one at a antique store in Danville, not Rabbit Town, Glory Days, but they had a kind of a warning sign attached to this saying that you couldn't play regular 78 RPM records on here because it would the whatever tip on the tone arm would actually destroy the record.
Yes, they used to come with steel needles.
Yeah.
And uh, at one time I had a little cheap toy record player that came with a standard record player. Called it a sapphire tip, but it was basically a little piece of carborundum that had a point on it that was glued to a plastic thing, and we myself, my brother, and my sister found out that you could take an old-fashioned hat pin with the right diameter, little pearl on the end of it, and bend the tip down to where it would touch the record and plug it in, and the vibrations from the grooves in the record would travel up the hat pin to the tone arm and be translated into sound just like a Victrola would from back in the day. But repeat playings of the record would actually, the metal pin would carve a blank groove where the sound had been recorded.
Yeah, it'll eventually wear down the variations.
Hmm. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit too sharp. If it had been dull, it might not be carving the plastic away, but or the vinyl. Um,
Hey, John.
We didn't think of that. We were too young. Ruined a couple of Chipmunk albums
Hit it.
that way. Phew. Wow. That went by. Well, I started to say fast, but it felt like normal time.
Me, I wanna hula hoop.
But
Yes.
guys, have you noticed how quiet you are? We got to get with Joe and figure out a way of making his microphone pick up less ambient noise. Because he's got a fan or an air conditioner or something going in that room that his mic is picking up. It just makes so much noise, ambient noise on the show. Yeah.
Can he put something around the mic head or something to kind of muffle or keep that out?
Maybe, but I mean, I think
like a little foam piece or something. And I don't even know that would work, but I'm just.
the foam piece would just block out wind. But I'm
Yeah.
talking, it sounds like a mechanical noise, like a motor noise that's getting in there.
And it is probably the air conditioner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't notice that. Your speakers are a whole lot better than my headphones for that. I noticed when we're playing the intros and the outros, the stuff that's in stereo, these headphones do not work very well for music. They work extremely well for voice.
Yeah.
But
Now, did Dan, you or John, did you guys just play the end of the show little tidbit?
John did, yes.
Okay, see, I never saw it.
That's because your
I
phone
kind of
does.
said something about it, but it was like it didn't do nothing.
That's because your tablet doesn't have enough RAM.
Well, sometimes it will do it and sometimes it won't. And now I will know when it's being done, but I wasn't paying attention this time because usually our names will disappear.
Yeah.
And I'll still see all of you, but the names will disappear. And as soon as it's over, then they'll all come back on.
That's because when we play a video clip like that, StreamYard automatically cuts everybody's microphone off.
Right.
And on your tablet, the effect is the names disappear. On our computers, it's got a little microphone emblem with a negation mark through it.
So I'm wondering why sometimes I will see it and then sometimes I won't. I don't know.
Could be the speed of your Wi-Fi connection.
Oh, okay. So however good or bad, which it's been a little wonky tonight, obviously, dropping out a couple times, but so that could be the reason for tonight. But I just always wondered and never knew. So
yeah, it's just one of the artifacts of what we use to do what we do.
So as I was showing earlier, I picked up a 1968 copy of the White Album, and I got all the glossy 8x10s, and I do have the poster in there. This is one of the, and I doubt it'll pick it up. No, it's not going to.
I saw
This is the embossed Beatles.
Yep.
And then down here, it does have the number, the serial number on it, which mine isn't really a low number. It's 913,135. But the one I had before was like the next step up where they went from Apple to a green capital label, and then eventually much more into the later 70s, the orange capital label. And this is actually the first original 68, with the green
in the
apple.
morning.
Yeah, and that on there. So I was, despite the other stuff with it, I was, and that it's not a low number White Album, I was still tickled to death to get it.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, I actually had bought a brand new copy that was pressed on white vinyl.
Yeah, I remember those. And I remember the picture disc that they had for Sergeant Pepper and Abbey Road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, it's that time again.
All right.
Tell everybody good night.
Good night, everybody.
Joe already left, so I'm going to say thank you, Dan. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Lewis. Nice to see you in here, too. Now, if we just get the rest of the old crew back in here, that'd be really kind of cool.
Yeah,
Them
really.
Shirkers.
Yeah, really.
No. Hey, Heather's a nurse.
That sounds like a John Wayne movie, The Shirkers.
Heather's a nurse. She can't come in on a regular basis.
She has an excuse.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, con Dios, amigos.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.